Sup nerds, I'm Wes.
I'm Aaron.
Today we're taking a look at New York 1901 by Blue Orange Games.
Initially, I looked at this game and was like, ooh. And then I was like, And I was like, yeah.
So when I first saw this game, I wasn't super excited about it. You know, it's just a building game. That doesn't seem like it didn't seem that fun to me.
But on the other side, I was like, hey, we should play this. This looks cool. Look at all these little minis that come in it. And you're like, it's back in the past. It's 1901. You're building things. This would be awesome. We should
1901?
Yeah,
Is that what the name is?
Yeah, So that's why I was like, hey, we should play this. And then we did. And what'd you think?
I loved it. Like, he was explaining it to me, and I was like, all right, I get it. We'll try it. And after a few turns, I started getting really into it, and then I was claiming my buildings and trying to block him, and he's like, oh, let's go there. I'm totally getting that. And it blossomed for me. And I don't know if I told you this yet. I like this game so much that when we were done playing it, I actually went out and bought my own copy.
What?
Yeah. Because Aaron had this one because, you know, we kind of have a pool of who gets the review games. And it was that good that I was like, I want my own copy of that game. And that's saying something, because typically if one of us in a group has it, we kind of say, oh, well, you have it, so if I'm going to play it, I'll probably play with you. I went out and bought my own copy of this game. It was that enjoyable.
1901 should be the next pillar game. It should, we already have 4 pillars of gaming. There should be a 5th pillar. This should help build up gaming because it'll introduce so many people to it.
I agree with that. I think it makes an amazing intro game. To me, this almost replaces Ticket to Ride in that intro game. Part of it because I don't enjoy Ticket to Ride all that much anymore. It's an okay game. I still don't mind playing it, but I'm almost never going to pick it with other options, especially with this game. I think that to me, this, I don't have Ticket to Ride in my own collection, and I don't need it anymore because I have this. It's not a train building game, which I know is so many games are, but it has a very similar feel to it. If you like this mission, I don't know. Playing it gives you that same feeling that I got playing Ticket to Ride, but I liked this more.
This game has a little less stress than Ticket to Ride, and the whole, you're collecting cards and collecting cards and collecting cards, and you're like, I'm never going to be able to build in the spot I want. In this game, every round you claim a spot. You're like, okay, I claim the spot. I claim this spot. So you can get the place you want to build in, so you can actually build, there's all these different shaped buildings. If you're trying to build an oddly shaped building and you need a certain spot, you can actually do it without having to pray to RNGesus, come on, I need a rainbow card because I'm never gonna.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It kind of drops down on, the difficulty of trying to collect a whole set. But there's a lot more cutthroat in it because the fact that people can see what you're up to in a way. I mean, yes, you can claim a territory and then build over top of that. So that's kind of cool too. Is once I've claimed this territory, I can just keep building on top of it and keep scoring points.
Yeah, and I would kind of say that it's less cutthroat even. I see what you're saying, that you can actively block someone more because oh, you went there, I'm going there. Oh, you went there, I'm going there.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it doesn't block me out completely because you have so many buildings, and you don't have to commit to which building you're building there until you actually build it. So you could be like, oh man, I really want to build this big 8-pointer. And they block you, and you're like,
okay,
man, well, I'm just going to build this weird L-shaped 5-pointer instead.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're fine. So it's not like you spent all this time going for this spot, and they blocked you, and now you're ruined, and you feel like, I just wasted my last 6 turns.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like, oh, well, I have to modify my plan slightly, and I might not build this building, but at the same time, I might not need this building. So I think that even though it has more cutthroat and that there's more backstabbing, there's more blocking, purposeful blocking, because, again, in games like Ticket to Ride, you can block someone, and then it never helps you at all.
Yeah.
Where in this, you block someone, and then you can build a building there. And so you're not trying to make a train, but you're just building your buildings everywhere. So you're blocking them and you're benefiting, but even if you're blocked, it's not, oh, well, all of that time I spent is now worthless.
Now I gotta go around. Yeah, you can. That's true. In my opinion, the scoring actually comes down to the bonus cards at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. Everybody's dealt the same buildings, the same size buildings at the beginning, so everybody could essentially score the same amount of points.
Which is a benefit as well, because it's not oh, I got these 3 ridiculously impossible trains that are all the way across the board from each other, have nothing to do with each other. Mm-hmm. It's everyone's equal playing field when the game starts.
Yeah, but in this game, it's like, okay, so we have, equal playing field. We can score the same amount of points, but there's also these bonus points that are dealt out at the beginning. You're like, okay, I want to build along Cedar Street because whoever has the most buildings along that street gets 5 extra points. So the streets, and there's like a bonus thing like, oh, whoever has the most bronze buildings or the most gold buildings, like there's these bonus points actually kind of affect it the most because you can see the biggest swing at the end where you're like, okay, well, it's really close. We each have 73 points, and oh wow, you scored all 3 streets. There's bonus 15 points, and
especially because it's not like whoever has the most points along those streets, it's buildings.
Yeah.
So I could play like a 10 point, an 8 point, a 5 point, a 5 point, and be like blowing him out of the water with points.
And I'm like,
and he just builds a bunch of little tiny 2 point buildings that don't seem that helpful right now, but then he gets all those bonus points at the end that make all those little tiny buildings worthwhile. And especially if it stacks and you're playing the bronze one, where whoever has the most bronze, which is the entry level building, gets bonus points. So not only does he claim that street, but also all those little tiny buildings help him with the bronze building one. So it does kind of snowball in that way with those bonus points.
But to the other extent, you could say, you don't get to build all your buildings.
Yeah.
So if you're wasting your time putting all these little buildings out there and somebody else is putting their big buildings out there and building a legendary building, they're getting a ton of points in other ways. Like they're getting, a lot more points.
So it does, there's multiple strategies, even though they're all basically the same strategy. It's how you want to accomplish that of just building as many buildings and getting as many points as you want.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely allows almost like a catch-up mechanism that, if you bulldoze 4 bronze buildings to build this legendary building, it kind of gives, I didn't build the legendary, but now I'm that much closer to winning that bronze award.
I love the minis in this game. They're like the little guys with the little steel, bar there. They're like, oh yeah, I'm totally building this awesome skyscraper.
Yeah, and they're nice, like they're kind of rubberized, a little bit bendy, even like these like tower buildings are a little bit bendy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that helps with they say this game's for 8 and up, and I can definitely see that. I think that it's a simple enough game that you could definitely play it with younger kids. The colors are nice and bright, the streets are laid out, and it's like, Legos when the bricks in the middle of the ship was like blue, and you're like, why is there just one blue brick in the middle of my X-Wing? And so it's easier for younger builders to see that there's a change there. Mm-hmm. It kind of has that with a layout with the different colors. Mm-hmm. That I don't think it takes away to anybody. No one's going to be like, this city building game isn't serious enough. I want just gray cement. But at the same time, it helps draw kids in, and they like the colors and all of that. Where I do think it's a game that you can play with a serious group or play with kids. It's not one that you're like, you really play it with kids and we can play it as a group and have fun. Mm-hmm. But it fits into both of those gaming groups, like, perfectly.
There's one section of the board that you actually don't use if you're playing less than 4 players, which makes this game scale very well compared to other games. And I've had a lot of fun playing it 2 players, 3 players, and 4 players. Like, it just plays well. It's a great game.
And you've done a lot of your 2 players with your girlfriend, who I'd say she's probably like a novice to intermediate board gamer. She's definitely not an expert. She doesn't have like tons of experience. And like, do you think she held her own?
Oh yeah, she's actually beat me most of the times, unfortunately.
Nice. Which, I mean, that's, again, it's a testament to the game that
yeah.
It's fun for people who've played games a lot, and it's fun and still easy to win if you haven't played games a lot.
Yeah, as long as you can strategize and like I think that's what my thing was, is I didn't keep my eyes on the bonus points the first couple games I've played, and that's why I'm like, that's my opinion, is like, it comes down to the bonus points. Like, I'm like, I'm going to get all these buildings, I'm going to build the legendary building, and people crush me. I'm like, oh, I got to go for the bonus points. Like, That's the game. Like, so it plays well. Like, you can feel like you're winning the whole time, and maybe you're not, because of points here and there, and either way, I had fun playing it.
I really do think that this is a game that could belong in every collection. If you like Ticket to Ride, I'm sorry I offended a game that you like so much. I think you'd still, like, if someone says, I really love Ticket to Ride, I say, oh, you've got to check this game out. You'll love this game. If someone says, I didn't really like Ticket to Ride, I say, you should check this out. It's kind of similar, but it's different enough that I think you'll like it, because that's how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. So, regardless of who you are, I would definitely check out that buy link, because this is a game that I think that everyone should at least try out.
You should totally leave us some comments below about your playthroughs and what your opinions are on this game. And don't forget to subscribe so you'll never be bored.
All right, so Aaron, initial thoughts on this game?
initial thoughts is that this is a game that you can play with people. God, hold on.
Dang it, Aaron. Oh my god.